This is the Marvel Legends series, Commander Rogers. This figure is part of the totally awesome Hulk Amadeus Cho Build-A-Figure wave, and here's the rest of the assortment. This Captain America or Commander Rogers figure has the headpiece of that Build-A-Figure Hulk. Here's a look at the packaging, back art. I picked up this figure from my local Toys R Us store for $29, and I have him here posed with the Puff Adder Build-A-Figure Wave Iron Man, or the Extremis Iron Man figure, because back in the comic books, about the same time that he wore this uniform, that he was head of S.H.I.E.L.D., this was the armor that Tony had, the Extremis armor, which eventually led to Secret Invasion and the Dark Avengers and all that on. And I thought it would be great to have these two together in the review, and they will look amazing on any Marvel Legends shelf. These two figures were actually two of my favorite Marvel Universe 3.75-inch figures back in the day when I started collecting Marvel figures. Next to the X-Men figures, these two were my top two favorite, and I could not be happier having both of them once again in the 1/12 scale or 6-inch format. This new Commander Rogers figure has amazing detail, albeit the older pieces, the older molds were used for the limbs and most of the sculpt. It still has a great aesthetic, great look, fantastic paint apps, just an amazing head sculpt, and we have this new holographic, solid hologram shield. This figure did not disappoint. Definitely one to pick up. Head to toe, the figure stands at about 16.5 centimeters tall, or about 6.5 inches tall. Taking a closer look at the details of this figure, you can see this fantastic head sculpt. This new figure really looks like Steve Rogers in the comic books. And I think it is an homage to that Marvel Universe figure. It's a shame I don't have them anymore. Now he comes with this clear shield. This is the holographic or solid hologram shield, which Tony, I think it was Tony who gave him this. I'm not sure if it's Tony, was Hank, but it was made for him because the vibranium shield was with Bucky, and Bucky was the new Captain America, and Steve had to do with this holographic shield. And this shield it could solidify, and he could actually throw it, and then you could put it on his arm, and it would solidify, and you use it as an actual shield. Now it does have a peg which you can plug on the back, which I thought was pretty useless, because in the comic books this shield would just disappear, and he could call on it by pushing on a button, and it would come back up. Now this shield is actually pretty good. My only concern about it is this clip. It's a little tight for the wrist of this figure, and I think over time this thing would become brittle, and the strain would just crack it, just like what's happened with some of the other older Marvel Legends figures and Marvel Universe figures. So that worries me. I hope that's not the case. I hope this is a more pliable plastic that they're using, but you know, for now it works really well. It's a tight fit on his wrist, and you can really just have him swing it about, and the shield's not going to fall off. Paint apps on the shield, very nice. Painted nicely with this red and blue color. Paint apps on the actual figure, it's pretty good. I mean, considering the fact that it uses a lot of white paint. Hasbro is notorious for having quality issues with the white paint, but you will see right here on the shoulders, there is some unevenness with the white, but that's okay, easily forgivable. You got some silver paint on the buckle. You've got the red and white stripe on the side of his leg. On my copy, the paint on the top part of his left leg on the calf isn't quite straight or aligned. They should have been painted this way instead of that way, so a little bit of a quality issue, but nothing to worry about. He has some separate pieces for his pistol belt and his shield straps. I love the way the boots have been sculpted. It does use an older mold because you can still see the pin joints, but all the joints seem to be very tight. Neck is on a ball joint that is on a hinge. You got a ratcheting ab crunch, waist swivel. No butterfly swivels because it's an older mold. Arms can go in and out, forward and backward 360. You got a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, ball jointed hips, thigh swivel, double jointed knees. You got a no boot cut. Nope, no boot cut. The feet are on hinges, go up and down, and have the rocker tilt. And so some final thoughts on this Marvel Legends Commander Rogers figure. Man, I really enjoyed this figure. This figure is one of the best in this wave. And the two figures I've reviewed, the Heroes Return Iron Man and this new Commander Rogers figures, both did not disappoint. I really love them. I don't know if I should pick up the other figures in this wave, particularly the movie figures, the 3 Marvels. But, you know, with these 2 figures, I think I'm pretty good for this wave. If you have to pick up 2 figures from this wave, it's got to be this one and that Heroes Return Iron Man. If you are a big fan of Captain America and Steve Rogers and how he looked like in the comic books, and if you were one of those collectors who started collecting Marvel figures with the Toy Biz and the Marvel Universe 3.75-inch figures, you are going to love this figure. This figure is going to get a 10 out of 10. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think of this new Marvel Legends Commander Rogers figure. Hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any of my latest video reviews. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.